Remember in my previous segment when I spoke about Rob Hersov and his house slave Penuel the Black Pen, who agreed with his views that Black South Africans should behave and strive for mediocrity and not try to be billionaires because they weren't built like that. They weren't built to excel in that manner. They weren't built to be in the stock market. All you need to do is behave, comply, and maybe them folks will elevate you to their level, to micromanage you and influence you to abuse and exploit the less fortunate, the unprivileged Black people, so you can tame them while they keep stealing and remaining in power in the background, just like how they are doing with Cyril Ramaphosa and the ANC greedy senior members.
What I thought, and I posted this on Twitter as well, is what white people want in this country is they want Black people to behave. Go to school and study hard. Go to church and be a good Christian. Be a good employee. Don't steal. Don't commit crime. If you're a poor Black, be at peace and be thankful with any freebies that white people through the tax and the government give you. If you're a talented, educated Black, white people will then elevate you. They'll make you a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or an accountant so that you can sit on their table. And if you speak their language, which is the language of money, which goes to the South African Reserve Bank, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, all the way to the biggest stock exchanges in the world, and the Central Bank of London and all these other places, white people are comfortable to make you a front. Like a Cyril Ramaphosa, like a Musi Maimane, like a Patrice Motsepe. You're a Black person who plays according to white rules and makes sure that white people remain strong and powerful. Aliko Dangote is allowed to be the wealthiest Black man on the continent because the way he operates is like a rich white person. White people get to invest in Dangote, the Dangote Group, either on the Nigerian Stock Exchange or through the London Stock Exchange. And nothing that Aliko does breaks white wealth. Nothing that he does goes against the way that the American dollar runs the money system across the world. This is the world we live in, and I was so happy listening to Rob say this stuff. Take time, watch the speech. It's 24 minutes, 25 minutes long, and let's engage. You know, these are conversations that those of us who are a bit smarter, who find ourselves to be philosophers in this new age, should be talking about. Don't make it black and white. Make it about good and bad people. Make it about rich and poor people.
You think the ANC is corrupt on their own? That these old men have the brain capacity to think on their own, think of ways to enrich themselves on their own? Hell no. ANC had good intentions in 1994, and should they have followed through with those intentions, Black people's lives would have significantly improved. It wouldn't be Dubai, but it would have been bearable, unlike today. White people couldn't let go of all the power. They gave us just enough to play around with it while they select a few Black faces that they could manipulate and control. They've always known that Black people are everything but loyal. There'll be a few dogs that are willing to take all the food at the expense of other people. Put those greedy dogs into power, control them, micromanage them to betray the liberation, and feed into their greed. And voila, you have the ANC. Now, white people are smart, advanced even. They own majority of the medium of communication in South Africa. Every media outlet is owned by them. They show you what they want you to know, while in the background, they are feeding the greedy politicians of ANC. And in the media, they run their mouths about how corrupt the ANC is, how incompetent the ANC is, how the ANC is responsible for the weakness of Black people, wara, wara, wara. They rile up Black people to turn on their own, cause division within the Black society. The selected few, like Penuel the Black Pen and Ramaphosa, who were honored the privilege to sit at their table, to be micromanaged into peddling these Black people are corrupt rhetoric. And because they are Black, they are the Black faces with big platforms and followings, we will agree with them, trust them, and be manipulated into hating Black politicians like Julius Malema and Jacob Zuma, disregarding their hard work. I mean, don't pretend like your life was not better during the Jacob Zuma era than it is now with Cyril Ramaphosa, who has a seat on their white table. Anyway, them folks like the Stellenbosch Mafia and Rob Hersov have managed to micromanage the ANC into corruption throw stones and hide their hands. And since they control the media outlets, they use that to discredit black politicians and undermine black people, saying we aren't smart enough, we are incapable of ruling, while they single-handedly made sure black people don't excel, make our lives unbearable, and continue with economical apartheid through the ANC. Then they act like they are being oppressed, that we are jealous of their academic abilities. We can't comprehend how amazing they are.
White South Africans excel at academics and competition. And what we need to therefore understand and acknowledge that competing with us on merit remains a scary prospect that most black South Africans won't support. It's hard to say that. And it's also hard to say we seem to be surviving BEE.
That was Rob Hersov on Biz News saying whites are superior in every aspect and blacks can't seem to comprehend that. These are the type of people Penuel agrees with and wants to recruit us to being their house slaves. From the experiences of the majority of South Africans, the Boers aren't that smart, so much so that they have built their own university to celebrate their mediocrity in academics, because competing in the real world is a scary prospect. Biz News is a moonshot pack mouthpiece. They thrive on fear-mongering, dehumanization of blacks, and promotion of white supremacy. That's who they are. So I wouldn't even take them serious or take them into consideration. Is there anything new that they are bringing to the table except push the prophecy of their apartheid architect masters like Verwoerd and P.W. Botha? That said, what did they say? They said blacks are incapable of governing. They need a master to control them. They are feeding us that narrative in every way possible. The DA is doing it, busy saying South Africa will collapse if they leave the GNU. Rob Hersov is doing it at every business seminar. Gayton McKenzie is doing it, saying South Africa should accept the lies peddled by the United States about the white genocide and try to fix things. They are all the same, these people. These white people, they just come in different sizes and shapes and political parties, but in reality, they are all the same. They all share the same ideology that P.W. Botha and Verwoerd, the masters of apartheid, used to instill in the South African or the apartheid government. It's what? What is that ideology? Blacks are incapable of ruling themselves. Blacks should not be in power. Put a black person in power and watch him destroy himself. And they are peddling this narrative. They're still carrying on with that narrative, even in the democratic state of society, even after 1994. Like I said, the DA is doing it by burning the flag, saying the old South Africa is corrupt, the old South Africa is ungovernable. Let us burn this flag, and in we shall emerge with a new flag that represents the new South Africa that is in power, the new South Africa that is resilient, but most importantly, the new South Africa that is run by the DA. Did you see? So they're saying this South Africa, the black South Africa, is incompetent. It's incapable of doing what it's supposed to do, incapable of governing itself. Let us burn that flag, and in emerge the new flag of the DA, a South Africa run by the DA. Run by the DA, meaning that we can be competent. Competency is linked to whiteness. And in that whiteness, we will make sure that this country runs like smooth oil. And I'm like, excuse me. So what are they saying? So they're peddling these like Rob Hersov at every seminar. Yeah, black people can't compete with us on merit. Competing with us remains a scary prospect. Yada, 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 yada. We, in academics, we excel. In everything we touch, we excel. Excuse me. During these graduations, I've never, not a lot of white people graduate. Not a lot of white people get into universities. Not a lot of white people excel. I mean, put a black person and a white person out there to write SAT tests or mathematics tests or science or whatever. I tell you, a black person will come out victorious. So what do? They build their own little Afrikaner university to celebrate that mediocrity. And then they say they're achieving greatness, because competing with us in the real world, like as Rob Hersov said, competing with black people in the real world is a scary prospect, and it shall remain a scary prospect. I am telling you, it's a movie, a drama, a series. So do we want such people to be leaders in South Africa? Do you want such people to invest in South Africa? I mean, Rob Hersov's father used to own or co-own or is a shareholders at Barclays, and Barclays used to what? Used to fund apartheid government. It used to invest in the apartheid government to continue their ideologies, to continue with their maliciousness. That was Rob Hersov's family. If you can look into Rob Hersov's family history, they are benefactors of apartheid. They are investors of apartheid government. They were in the background running the apartheid. They were in the background running the apartheid markets. And he's here telling us that white people are great. That we can compete them, or we can compete with them in merit. Look how they have succeeded for the past 30 years. No. Prior to the 30 years of democracy, their forefathers were busy stacking the chips, making sure that they put some investment for them, trust funds for them so that they can excel in times like these. And then they want to shame us for not having anything when the battleground was not leveled in the first place. The battleground was not leveled. The battlefield was not evened out. Any day, take away their investment, take away their trust fund, and let them strip them bare, strip them naked, and let us compete, and you'll tell me who will come out victorious. What do you think about this segment? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African